Okay, hi everybody. I'm Charlotte Siems, Sapphire Ambassador with Plexus Worldwide, and we have a great topic for training for you tonight, and that is on time management and getting the stuff done that will build your Plexus business. And here joining me tonight is Ruby Ambassador Jana Starner, and she is going to begin by sharing exactly what it is we should be doing. So that, there's one thing to just do a bunch of stuff, but we want to be doing the right things that actually build our business. And so Jana is going to talk to you about income producing activities that you should focus on.
Hello, everyone. I live in Chandler, Arizona, about 25 minutes from headquarters. In fact, I was just up there today talking to several people at the product store. And so you kind of then know where I'm located. I've been with Plexus this is my anniversary month. So it's been 2 years. And in that process, I began the product. My health changed drastically for the good, of course. And then after about 10 months, I was able to leave my brick and mortar job and gain time freedom and start building a team. So it has really been such a blessing on many, many levels for our family. What I'm going to do tonight is just share with you what income producing activities are. I'm going to tell you a book that I found toward the very beginning that I really thought was very beneficial for me in this business. And also, if you're new, I'm going to give you what I feel like you should focus on with IPA as you get started. What I did was I asked some leaders on my team what they felt like income producing activities were, and this was the result. They are consistent daily and weekly activities that produce results. And basically what it boils down to, it's sharing Plexus, the product, and the opportunity with others. So we're sharing the products, we're telling a friend or a stranger, a family member about our products, we're sharing the opportunity, we're telling a friend or acquaintance about the business opportunity, and we're sharing our skills with our team members. We need to keep in mind that we're doing this daily, and we want to keep in mind that it needs to be something that can be duplicated. And we also need to keep in mind that this is a business, and so therefore we need to work our business like a business. I want you to think with me for a second. Have you ever met someone who was an entrepreneur? Like they were building a business online or they had a brick and mortar store? I have a very close example, and that's my sister and brother-in-law who opened up upscale almost boutiques for children about 29 years ago in the Plano, Texas area. And I watched what they went through. And let me tell you, they worked their tail off. They didn't think anything of spending weeks after weeks after weeks investing in their business. And so I think you need to flip a switch in your mind if you think that this is something that you can excel at and just kind of do if you feel like it. So when we say treat this like a business, approach it like a business, you need to approach it like a business. Now, granted, there are so many things done for us already that we don't have to take care of. It's kind of like the car's been built, the engine's in the car, and we just get to get in and drive. But we're going to have to work on product knowledge. We're going to have to work on reaching out and telling people. But it is important that you understand that God's laws don't go away. In other words, what does Proverbs talk about? We have to work to get benefit. So here are some examples of IPA income producing activities. Posting a testimony or a Plexus selfie on Facebook or Instagram, connecting with a friend and sharing Plexus with them, following up with someone you spoke to recently about Plexus, delivering a sample to a potential customer, following up with that person you delivered the sample to. And I think it's always good to set a time, like say, I'll get in contact with you 3 days, whatever, and really let them know you will be following up. That gets that product in them a lot quicker. And then you can also share or hand out brochures or business cards. So that's just kind of little practical. One of our leaders, one of the ambassadors on our team, he said that the most effective thing for him personally has been sending personal messages and then offering samples to folks and following up. And he has had great success with that. And he's also very clear with people when he's sharing those samples that their lives will not change overnight, that it's a taste. It's basically, I call it a taste of pink. So what I want to share with you now is, if you are brand new to this business, the things that I feel like you should focus on are something that Andrea Mitchell shared with us a little while ago. And as you're thinking about these activities, what I want you to think about is that you establish your mindset before you're reaching out on any of these things. You know, revisit your why. Why are you doing this? What are your goals? Maybe you have created some kind of vision board. Look at that vision board. Look at whatever pictures that you have on your phone, etc., as screensavers, and remind yourself why you're doing this. And, you know, for me, I think this is absolutely incredibly awesome. The things that this has enabled our family to do, me to do, I know and I feel that it is awesome. So maybe you don't have that belief yet. Well, so then you can borrow mine, you can borrow Charlotte's. But you need to embrace that enthusiasm before you reach out, because it makes all of the difference. It makes complete difference. So what you can do as a new person, you can launch your business publicly on Facebook. I did it that way. I was working 30 hours outside of the home. I was working 10 hours inside the home on a contract job that I have. Plus I had a family, still have a family. But I knew that the only way I could really have time to do this business was if I was going to utilize Facebook. And it's been wonderful. That has been probably 80% of my business. So you launch your business publicly on Facebook. Number 2, actually call the people that you want to do this business with you. You can say, please come do this with me. Let's blow this out for 6 months and see what happens. And you can change the terminology to whatever fits your personality. The point is, when I entered this arena, here was Charlotte. Guess what? She was already pretty successful. In front of her was Brenda. She was definitely successful. In front of her were the Abarts. They were definitely successful. So I had people that were tangible to me, and I knew they were successful. And most likely, if I applied myself and I was willing to learn, then I could be confident that I was going to be too. So I joined in July, and I started sharing, I want to say, in August. And I haven't paid for my product or my family's product since. I've made enough money to leave, my job. But the thing was, I saw, okay, they were doing it. What do I need to do? And I started doing that. I went half-time with my job in 4 months, 5 months, and then I quit in 10 months. So borrow that. Know that it is possible. So that when you speak to those people with enthusiasm, you can say, let's just do this. Let's just dive in, go all in. The next thing you can do is to message people that you know need the product, okay? Some people will dive in with you, the business from the beginning, but some people are going to go, you know what? I want to see this, I want to see what this is like first. I want to try the product. I want to become a product of the product first. So along with that, you will want to train yourself about the products, and then you're going to want to use that knowledge then to help customers and help ambassadors, your friends and family that are using it. In other words, don't just learn to learn, but your purpose to learn is so that you can turn around and help them. Then you want to follow up with the people that you're messaging. And then I think a great thing is to host an event in person or online, and your upline or Charlotte can help you with that. It's a fun informational platform. It's not like a party where, you have products, obviously, because no products are sold. It's not like that. And what I love about them is that you can reach many at one time. And when you are sharing through an event, then it also helps people with their belief, and you have third-party validation. And last, a book that really helped me when I began was called Sarah Robbins' Rock Your Network Marketing Business. So I thoroughly recommend that you get that, because she breaks down what you should do, various things in very, just very real way. And one of the things that I learned from the book is how we can utilize coffees. You learn your people. Some of it's generational. Some people are going to want to be reached through emails. Some people like to work with just text. Some people like Facebook messaging. But I ran into a lot of people when I began locally that wanted to see me in person. They wanted to talk about in person. They wanted a hard copy to look at in person. And so I just worked with whomever, and I did start having coffees, and that was a neat way for me to expand my business. So I turn it back over to Charlotte.
Okay, so now you know what you should be doing, and now we're going to talk about some time management tips to help you find the time to do that. And of course, in 10 more minutes, we're not going to change, everything about your whole life and time management, but hopefully I'm going to give you some tips that'll help you tweak how you see things and how you get things done. Jana talked about the need to follow up, and we hear that the fortune is in the follow-up. Well, here's an idea that you need to follow up on yourself and check in with how you're doing. Evaluate yourself even weekly and see what's working for you and what areas are frustrating you in your business or in your life. Because as we all know, we can't really manage time. We manage our life. We manage our tasks, the things that we do. And so one thing that can help, a tip, is to train yourself to put distance between yourself and a thing that needs a quick response. So let's say you get an email or a message. You need some kind of a buffer so that you can create order. You want to write that down. So don't purely just in a reactive way, just immediately react and then get distracted. That uses different parts of the brain. If you stop and add that to your list, or, or take some time, during the time when we were making a lot of customer service calls, back when the back office was really switching over, I would make lists of calls that I needed to make, and I would do them once a day. And just because I got a message that day didn't mean I dropped everything to call customer service. I put some distance between myself and the task, and it helped me not be reactive and emotional. It was more organized that way. If we're working in a distracted and unfocused, fragmented way, we will not be processing our work well. And so that's where writing things down can help. One way to do that is to deal with email or Facebook messages in batches. And that's when you choose to deal with those. Turn off the notifications on your Facebook messages. Don't have all your Facebook posts sent to your email. That, for one thing, that can get overwhelming, but you don't let your Plexus business or Facebook or anything else take over your life. You make choices. And so definitely, you definitely want to deal with them, but just in batches. It's also helpful to break down a task into parts and make a checklist. You're going to make it easier to do, and it's less overwhelming that way. For instance, to do a Zoom like this, there were a few things I have to set it up, and I have to get a link and post it in the group and post a graphic. And it helps me to make a list of those pieces. And the same thing with, you want to message so-and-so, and then you're going to answer this email, to make those lists and break it down so it's not as overwhelming. One reason we get stuck is because we're not doing anything. It's not that we have too much to do or we've done so much. It's because we're not doing anything. It's like we're stuck in mud. So do something, however small, towards your tasks every day, and it will get you moving again. So don't get stuck in learning mode and feeling like you have to watch another video before you're ready to message people. Just do a small one. Do one message, and that will get you moving, because it's very energizing, to get the relief of sending that off, and you feel so good about it. If you have a really long open to-do list, like a list of all this stuff that you're going to do, those are things that you might do during the day. But a short, closed list of things you will do is much more manageable, and you get the feeling of accomplishment. So keep your will-do list shorter. And all of us end up having a bunch of stuff to do that we weren't planning on maybe during the day. But if you have 3 to 5 things that you will do that day, that's better than a list of 20 things that you might get around to. Do you see what I'm saying? Mentally, that's just better. Our goal is to check off everything on a list, a will-do list, versus having a to-do list over here causing us stress. Do you realize that you actually get less work done if you don't have a definite stopping time? Think about when you're going to go on vacation, how much stuff you get done the last day before vacation, because there's a stopping point. You're going to leave the house and you can't do anything else. And so that gives you a little clue that it can help to have a timer set or glance at the clock and say, okay, I'm going to finish at 3:00, or set up your routine to where it has to end because your kids are coming home or you have an appointment. And so you only have till 11:30. And so that will help you get more done, actually. Always stop. This sounds crazy, but always stop in the middle of something. Don't take a break until you've started the next thing, because if you finish something and then you stop, your brain thinks, okay, good, whew, we're done. And you'll have a really hard time to going back to that. Let's say, you have some things you were going to do before lunch and you finish these things and then you go eat lunch and your brain is thinking, okay, well, we got that done. But if you started something else, your brain's going to be, okay, now you got to get back to it. You got to go finish those things. Repetitive tasks, such as the things that Jana talked about, because that really our business is repetitive tasks. We are doing the same thing over and over again, the same simple things over and over again. Make them a daily habit by giving them a scheduled time. For some people, and I'm one of them, a routine works better than a schedule. I tend to rebel mentally against a schedule that says at 8:00 every day, I'm going to post on Facebook. But if it's more, get up in the morning, read my Bible, drink some coffee, journal, and then post on Facebook, that routine is better for me. It helps if you're trying to start some new things, attach them to things that you already always do. So, for instance, in homeschooling, I've told people if you want to read aloud to your kids, attach that to a routine you already do. So read aloud right after lunch every day, because you are going to eat lunch every day. And so that's something already in place, and you can attach that new thing to the routine you already have. So see where that will work in your life. It can also help you, because at first, for sure, I'm still like this 2.5 years later. I'm still love Plexus so much. I tend to want to work it all the time. And especially that first 6 months or so, I ate, slept, and breathed Plexus pretty much. But it can help to decide maybe when you will not work Plexus. For me to say I'm going to do it every day from 1 to 3, that just does not work with my life. So it helps me more to decide when I will not work Plexus. For instance, when I go to a movie with my kids, I'm going to keep my phone in my purse. I'm not going to check it during the movie. If I'm reading aloud to my girls, when we start our homeschool year back up on August 1st, my phone's not even going to be next to me, because I don't want the temptation when I should be reading aloud to them or paying attention to them. Let's see, any other times during supper, or watching a movie at home with your kids, or when you're outside with them and they're doing flips out in the yard. Look at me, Mom. That's not the time to do Plexus. And so you have to decide what works best for you as times to not do it. And flipping that around in your brain can help. So anyway, I hope some of these tips have been helpful to you on just figuring out how to work Plexus in. I think that it's, really being clear on your why. And you know what? Your why is not set in stone. So at first, maybe your why is to get your products paid for, and that's perfectly fine. Maybe your why is to pay for braces for your daughter's teeth. That's great. But when that's paid for, you'll have a different, a goal. Your overall why, even, that you want financial freedom for your family. Having those things in mind will keep you dedicated and consistent in working your business. When you maybe get a little discouraged or things go slower than you thought, when you return to thinking, you know what, though, I'm going to do this because I have this goal in mind, or this why that drives me, then that's going to help you keep consistent and work your business every day and find ways to work your business. I'm not a person that you should be saying, well, I don't have time. Don't tell me that. I have 12 children. I still have only 4 at home, but those other 8 children and 7 grandchildren and their spouses, there are 26 of us in my immediate family. they still take up, I mean, I babysit, I go visit, I do things with my grown children. And I homeschool. We start our 30th year on August 1st. I still blog every week and have a newsletter I send out. I'm a pastor's wife. We do church activities and all that. I'm busy. Okay, let's say I'm busy. And so when people tell me they don't have time, I'm thinking, actually a lot of times the busiest people are the ones who get more done, I guess, because you just figure out ways. Don't use it as an excuse to say you're busy. Use it as a challenge. How can I fit this in? I've done most of my business from my phone, a lot of it from my phone. Just because I'm driven to do this. And so I fit it in every day because I love it. I love helping people. I love what the financial freedom that is on its way for my family. And so that's a huge piece of it, is just having the mindset that I am going to do this. I decide to do this, and then you just work it in. So anyway, hope this helps.